Sometimes a little box jumps up on your screen. You have to click to get rid of it. And then have your upright seat. Find a comfortable position. Ideally, when sitting in a chair, that chair has your hips at the level of the knees or slightly higher than, so that your pelvis isn't being drawn back into a slouch. We want to be tilting the pelvis slightly forward on the buttock bones. This produces a natural springiness into the spine, or it promotes that springiness up through the crown of the head. And you can just feel that, right? So, again, be sitting at the front edge of your chair as usual. And notice that if you let the pelvis spill backwards, see if you can feel how the entire spinal column at every vertebra joint just gently compresses on each other. And what this does, it pinches the flow of the nerves. It puts an undue stress on different areas of the spinal column if we sit like this all the time, right? Rarely do we see people like this, accidentally walking around all day. But this would do a similar thing. If we were always back bending, walking around, that would put a bad stress on the spine as well if we were stuck in that position. But the truth of it is, people don't do that. That doesn't happen. What does happen though is slouch, right? We all know that. So just this tip forward in the pelvis right away starts to sort of shoot a line of buoyancy and uprightness through the body that you don't have to work at. You just have to make sure you get the foundation right. It's the power of moving the correct part of your body the correct way, is that it has these global beneficial effects. The difficult part, though, is that it requires your attention, right? So mindfulness isn't just, hey, don't think about stressful things, be happy. It's also being present in your vehicle, right? If you're driving your car but not paying attention to where you're steering the wheel, that could be a problem, right? So this attending to the different parts of our vehicle, you can think about it like a fighter pilot flying a very complicated jet. They got to know all the different controls. They got to pay very good attention to everywhere they're going and all the different mechanisms at play. Our body is very similarly complex. It's not just a single mechanism vehicle, right? It's not like we just have a arm that goes like this, right? We have hips that turn and fold. We've got spinal joints that turn and twist and lean. We've got scapula and arms that are quite a bit like octopus tentacles that can extend and retract. We got legs that have all this, function in them. So the body is supposed to be and is an amazing vehicle, but a lot of times that's not how we experience our bodies, right? So that's what this series is doing for you, is somewhat systematically tuning up each of these mechanisms, bringing your brain and nerves into those mechanisms and helping us get control of them again. And then all together, they become a more functioning vehicle. So we start with the same sort of routine. And if you think to yourself, oh, I've done this before, I already know this, the only reason that's not true is because there's layers of depth to each of these movements and to understanding the precision of it. So again, scoot to the front edge, find that little tipping forward in the pelvis so you get that springiness up through the crown of your head. That's Zhong Zheng, central upright. Then Song, soft, supple, pliable, relaxed. Another way to think about Song, dilated, plump, spacious. We often don't realize that tension constricts and shortens, right? It brings everything in on itself. The opposite happens when we song, when we relax. This extension, this length, and also this plumping, like we got a little wider and more dilated everywhere in the body. So, Zhongjang, central upright. Song, soft, supple, pliable. Allow more space everywhere, plumpness and length. And then what occurs is Chunwan and Qingling. Chunwan is soft, sunken, heavy, gravity, right? Settling downwards that just happens naturally when we relax. That is what grounds us and stabilizes us, not holding. Releasing grounds us. And then Qingling is what's left. Light, nimble, agile, levity. So gravity and then levity, buoyancy. Breathe in through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Breathe out through the nose or the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Let's take that about 5, 6 more breaths. Shape shifting. When you breathe in, your entire shape should change. Subtly, but everywhere. Expands a little, space, length, fullness. And then when you exhale, everything changes a little bit. Settles, consolidates, closes a little. Now we really shape shift. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, chest up, chin up, arching the back, inhaling full. And then slide your hands forward past your knees, hollow the chest, round the back, empty, dropping the head. Let's do that 3 or 4 more times. To the degree that you can marshal your attention and move through these ranges of motion, that's the degree of change that you're going to create for yourself, right? So I can't get in your body and make you do the movement, right? I can't do that. I can only try to enchant you with the words and inspire you and show you, but eventually you have to marshal your attention, not wandering around with your attention, and be right with every little neuron, every little nerve pathway, and really get her done. Go into those places and find your little barnacles and your stiff spots. And if you do it daily, you really do this stuff daily, even if you just did this one move a couple times a day, you'd start to break up what's stuck in there, and the brain would really start to get a sense of itself. Now, settle back to neutral, back to that place right in the middle of everything. And then the twist. Left hand forward past the knee. Right hand and elbow pull back. Turn the shoulders, turn the head, twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, go the other way. Again, I'm pretty sure every one of you here has done these exercises enough now that when we go through them, it shouldn't be like first time you're coming to it. So what that allows you to do is explore them. Stay a little longer in the twist. Don't feel like you're needing to catch up to anybody. Right? You know we're going to do about 3, 4, maybe 5 reps. So in a way, get lost in the exercise. Get lost in your own tissue, your own joints, your own brain-body connection. your own breath. There's really nothing external to achieve. There's only this internal change, just changing the state you're currently in towards a slightly better or more than slightly better state. Now we come back to middle, settling there. Third exercise. Shift the weight a little to the right buttock, lean sideways. Float this left wrist up, foot up, and teeter right at the edge. And then let's come back to middle, tall crown, and then teeter over to the other side. And again, you go, oh yeah, I know this one, right? That's the beauty of repetition. That's the beauty of a sequence. The negative of it is, yeah, we've already done this many, many times. So I'm bored, right? But if you look at it differently and you say, oh, wait, I know this one. Now I get to really dive deep and explore and work the edges, right? Hanging out at the edge and then moving smoothly across. With all my work, especially with the aging human, right? The aging human population, not even just Parkinson's, but just as we age, what I notice interestingly is, let's go back to middle. Best word I can think of is yanking, yanking on the body. So just like fast, like doing things kind of clumsily and fast. So it makes so much sense why the Taoists say Tai Chi is so valuable. It's this slowing down, this reclaiming of brain and body, right? Brain and body network connection. So now we're doing shoulder rolls. But the same idea, you can really see when I do it, I'm not rushing past anything. I'm not disconnected, discombobulated. Slow, I'm right there. And then right there as I get to the edge, and then right with it as you go back, and then slide it down. And paradoxically, counterintuitively, it's this slowing way, way down and being really thorough that changes our body into the state where we can move really fast, really, really fast, because we've cleaned out the impediment. So each shoulder roll, you want to have the idea that you've just scraped something off or you've wrung something out, right? Let's go ahead and reverse. Back, up. And so my sort of working theory is this disconnect that's happening between the brain and the body. That Parkinson's, it's happening, but really it's just aging humans. It's just what's happening to us, is responsible for this clumsy and fast movement, sort of yanking on the body, turning clumsily, and that's what makes us fall. And so this reconnecting of the internet, right? This slow, smooth, right? We're integrating brain and body. Now, feet together, knees together, hinge forward at the hips, reach forward, go big circle, out and around and in. Key to doing this one right. Neutral. When you fold forward, bring the backs of the hands together, extend, and then as you sweep out, stay low on the first one, first three. Bring it in behind, and then we're back to neutral. Let's do it again. Forward and out, big round. And in. Then the second level, we're going forward and up, about chest level, big. Oh. Turn the palms forward, slide down. And again, notice, same idea. Not just what we're doing, but the how we're doing it. This quality of soft, slow, attentive, slowing all the way down so that we replug brain, nerves, body. We reclaim hydraulic movement. Let's go for the full range. Forward, up, all all the way up, 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 up. Way up. Big circle. Down. Relaxed and neutral, and then another. Forward and up. Big circle. One more. Right, so we're peeling apart the body parts that tend to get glued together. We're opening up interior space, and then let's just relax. Now going the other way, back, out, but stay low, around and in. Staying low, back through neutral, out and around, and in. So how do we do both loose and relaxed, yet totally precise and thorough, hitting each of the connect the dot points, right? So here's second level, out and up and forward and down and neutral. We got to hit all those points, back, out and up, forward, leaning forward, down, neutral. One more time at that second level. Eventually it starts to feel like you're swimming, land swimming. That's one of the terms they use for Qigong and Tai Chi. Now we're going up and over and down. One of the reasons it feels like swimming is because we start moving in our own liquid. It's like we're swimming in the liquid of our own body in space, right? We're the wave-like quality of Tai Chi and Qigong movement. And neutral. Scoot a little bit back on your chair so you're very stable. Let's go right knee lift. Take the hands to the knee, draw it up and in, flex the foot. Now open the hands, push, draw it back up and in, set the foot down. Other leg, load, push, load, down, switch, load, push, load, down, load, push, load, down. One more each. Foot and ankle, straighten the right leg out. We got point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And we got tilt, in, out, in, out, in, out. Circle, in, around, and out. Reverse, out, around, and in. And down. Other leg, foot and ankle, point and flex. Tilt, in, tilt, out. Circle, in, around, and out. Out, around, and in the other way. Circle. And down. Scoot forward to the front edge. From here, step a little wider apart than hip distance. Lift the balls of the feet up. The heels stay on the ground. Turning on the heels, turn knees and toes in. And then lift the toes, turn knees and toes out. Lift and turn in. Lift and turn out. Internally rotating from the ball and socket in the hip. Externally rotating. So it's really the thigh bone, the femur bone, that's moving. Everything else is along for the ride, right in that rotating mechanism in the hips. Now, neutral, let's take the heels in, knees out, externally rotating. Then heels out, knees in, internally rotating. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Two more. Right, we get to be able to go zzz, zzz. Eventually, right, wah, wah, wah. That speed, but only when we've gone slow enough to gather it all together to be able to move somewhat complex move. Now back to neutral. Sit up very tall. Forward fold, hip hinge. Right, so notice here as I turn sideways so you can see my spine, I'm not really rounding my spine. It might round a little bit, but the key is to really focus on the pelvis moving at the leg bone junction. Fold, lift, back. Now, hang the arms loose. When you fold forward, let the arms continue to hang loose, but don't round the back. So a lot of times what I see is people either holding, or when I say drop the arms and shoulders, they drop arms and shoulders, but they also drop the head and shoulders. So can you keep your torso integrity and have looseness at the shoulder blades and arms? Sitting up and then tipping back, same thing here. If you're really loose in the arms, they'll hang a little behind you. And then neutral, when you sit up, fold, they'll come a little forward, neutral, back. So just letting that loose, spacious quality be in the hips and the shoulders. Now, same feeling, slide your feet back, fold, and then just move the weight a little forward so it pours down the legs and gets to the earth, and then stand up. When you stand up, keep this looseness in the arms and shoulders. When we sit down, hip hinge, the arms should hang, right? So when hips go back, the arms should just dangle. When you sit, the arms stay out in front here. You can, of course, reach back, make sure you got a chair, and then sit. Let's do that twice more. Fold, arms loose. When the arms and shoulders are loose, the top is empty and therefore light. When the tension is up here, it's like we've got a bag of bricks in our arms and we're trying to stand up. So we don't want to add unnecessary density and heaviness to our movement. It's not to say lifting weights isn't a great challenge and a great thing to do. It's just to say don't burden yourself unnecessarily, making you less grounded and more clumsy, right? Now, don't sit in your chair, hip hinge, sinking, 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 but don't sit in your chair. Use this move to dangle down. See if you can touch your shins, maybe even your ankles, maybe toes, maybe someday the floor, and then come all the way up. Remember, just loose as can be. And what we add here, hips forward a little bit. Look at the arms hanging a little behind you. Hips neutral, hips back, sink, dangling arms. And then back up. Neutral, hips forward. One more time. And middle. Staying at the middle. Let's do our Tai Chi. So we've been adding this idea of opening and closing a practice with footwork. So to open the practice, shift all your weight to your right leg and step your left foot a little bit further out. And then shift to 50-50, so you have equal weight in each leg. Now, to close, we reverse that. Shift all the weight to your right leg again, bring your left foot in. It could be a little bit, could be as close as all the way together. And then we go again to 50-50. So now we're standing, feet close together, legs equal weighted. And then put all the weight through your right leg again, down. Left foot empty, side step to just create a little wider stance, and then shift to 50-50. and then close it. Shift 100% to your right leg, closing by bringing the foot in, and 50-50. Now we're going to do that in the other direction. So go down through your left leg, right foot empty, step it out with no weight, shift to 50-50, and then close. Shift all the way to your left leg, step your right foot in, 50-50 straight. So we're kind of straight and almost like locked leg, so that when it's time to start the Tai Chi practice, we're going down through the left, stepping out empty, 50-50, and then close. Bring and stand. Now, add to it, your arms are in close to your body. As you sink down through your right leg again, so we'll go back to that, start to float the arms a little bit. Step, and then as you shift to 50-50, settle the hands. I'll come up close so you can see, like that. Right? So now we're in this sort of ready Tai Chi position. And then we go to close it, shift to the right leg, bring that left foot in, and then as you straighten your body up, let your arms soften and hang by your side. Again, down through your right leg, your arms start to become a little buoyant, a little bit of space in the armpit. Step out, shift to 50-50, and settle the fingertips down. And then shift over to the right leg, step that left foot in, and rise. Everything hanging out. Two of them to the other direction, and then we'll go into the Tai Chi movements. I mean, this is already a Tai Chi movement, but the ones you're familiar with. So now, down through your left leg, float those arms, step side, shift, and settle into that gunslinger, ready to go. And then close, shift to your left leg, bring your right foot in, straighten everything up, arms by your side. Again, sink through the left leg, float the arms, step. Now we're ready to go. Rising hands. Up. Look at this space. I'm exaggerating it for effect, right? This open, clear, see that looseness. You want to come up with everything loose and then start settling from here. Settle the shoulders, the arms shape shift to this position, right? Remember when we came up, they were like this. Before we go down, they shape change like that, and then it's this down and slightly behind. Same thing. We shape shift. Boom. That one's a little harder to see. This hollow here, this slight internal rotation of the arms, and then and then this from the shoulder, settling all the way through the limbs. A really cool visual that they talk about with this opening move, as if you are going to magically draw water up from a well. If you had to use this movement to suck water up through a well, right? So feel that idea when you're coming up. It's not like stiff arms going up. It's like you're slurping it up, right? And then this little change, down, loose. One more time. That drawing up, and then this settling. Now scoop the hands in front, the crane opening wings with that same quality, just out to the side, flow through the limb, and then so it's so much more than just the anatomical movements, right? Hopefully you start to feel that more and more as we practice. That it's, yes, it's shoulder movement and arm movement, but it's energy. It's this energy of pung, of rising and expanding, and then the sort of yin quality of on, sinking and consolidating, and then rising through the body, and then sinking. Now we do the sink cheetah belly. Wing, roll your palms up, fold at the elbows, hands come over top. We're all still up here. And then it's this sink and consolidate and settle. Release all the way. Let's do that twice more. Rise, roll, and fold around. Gesture of consolidation and down. Settle through the belly. Release the arm. One more. Wing, roll, fold. Again, at first, you're just having to reclaim control of your body, learning the basic mechanics, but then it just becomes something totally different. Now, backs of hands together. The geyser flows up. Now, the mechanics of this, palms face forward, then you go up and out, the palms slowly turning, spiraling so they face out, and then it's the crane wing sweep. So again, this internal rotation, the geyser flowing up and out. The sinking, this sort of gathering, storing, then that stored energy rises up and out and expresses through the tissue. So it goes beyond the muscles and bone, right? Tai Chi includes our muscles and bone, but it goes beyond it into hydraulics and into energetics and all of that. Now the embracing moon, wing. Right hand over top, roll and fold as left hand sweeps under. This consolidating quality of hands together. And then separate, get around. Left hand over right hand under and down. Consolidate to the middle. And then remember to keep your vertical line intact. So just because the arms are doing this, notice I'm not leaning one way or leaning the other. And also note the precision of timing. Top and bottom. Circling, they move through the wing position. Then they continue and go top and bottom. They meet precisely at the same time in the middle. They separate, get to top and bottom. So can you keep all this precision and then add that expressiveness, that fluidity, right? We build the foundation on the precise connect the dots. Go ahead, scoop down, scoop up. Elbows back, palms turn to face forward. We push, keep pushing, extend, 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 extend. How far forward can you extend? And then keeping, this is important here, a lot of times people go out and then they're already on their way back while they're turning their hands. What you miss out on is sort of this pulling out some stuck crud in your mechanisms here. So push, get all the way to the end, stay all the way extended, and wrap around. So you still have this tension, this drawing long when you wrap around. Then, shoom, all the way back. Important as well. Don't stop here. Get here. Turn and push. Push. Full extend, full extend, full extend. Stay long. Get around the back. And then, so we're changing the state of our bones and our muscles and our connective tissue and fascia by doing it thoroughly and being soft while we do it, by finishing the move all the way and then wrap and finish coming back. Now turn just your left hand forward, push. Extend further, let it turn you a little bit, right? So now we've rotated our middle, full extend. Left hand face the body, right hand gets ready to push. One push, one draw, full extend. Let it, again, turn your body slightly to your left. turn both hands, and push and draw. Full extend, get around, and shoom. Full extend. Right, so we're tuning the two groin, the belly, and the lower back. This is that turning pivot. Feel that pivot inside getting brought online. Keep awareness of that as you bring both hands back, both hands down, nice and relaxed, loose. From that middle pivot, change the weight more to your right leg and then more to your left leg, down to the earth. Add to that the turning. Change the weight down through the right leg, turn the middle pivot to the right, float your arms to the right. From here, change your weight down through your left leg, that's first. Second is turn from your middle pivot. Third is brush knee, sweep the leg. Now the hands keep going, going, going. They get to the end before turning around, getting ready to go the other way. So the first thing is down through the right leg. Second thing is turn from the middle. Third thing, brush, sweep. Get all the way to the end. Turn the hands, shift, turn, brush knee, sweep the leg. And shift and turn, brush and sweep. Same thing, but add. Your left hand's going to brush knee the same, but your right hand's going to cast forward and around. That's brush knee and swirl the stream. And then now that right hand brush knee, left hand swirl the stream. And then shift and turn, brush knee and swirl. So now we're using that swirl stream limb a little bit differently, right? We're casting it forward. Now, add another bit. Lift it a little bit higher. Turn the palm standing palm. Brush knee, swat the jumping fish. Turn the hand over, dip it in the water. Other hand lifts. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Remember, there's precision here. Brush knee, swat the fish, and then they change. And then it's shift and turn. James, you had it here. Shift and turn, brush. This hand should be higher. And then again, just pay attention, because usually it's the mind wandering off that gets us lost here. Just simple change. What is high has to go low. What is low has to go high. James, you got to switch your hands, buddy. There you go. Shift and turn, brush, and swat. And then you just always got to remember, okay, change again. Let's go a little higher with that swat hand around chest or throat level, or a little higher. And then again, it's got to change. So you drop the right hand and lift the left hand. Shift and turn. So more than anything, we're training the mind to remember. Let's go for the highest place in the room. Reach. You got it. It's the left hand that's going up. James, left hand. Right hand is here. Shift and turn. And then it's switch again. Left hand down, right arm is up. The right arm reaching. Down. And then the left arm reaching. Now stay in your right leg, right arm wing, roll, fold. Shift to the left, turn, brush knee, and push. Now remember that push. Extend, get all the way to the end of the push. Start bringing that hand down as the left arm wings, rolls, folds. Now we go shift, turn, brush knee, push. Left arm extending, extending, extending. left arm down, right arm wing, roll, fold. We're all stored up. You can see I'm not in this leg. I'm turned a little this way. Now it's shift, turn, brush, and hook. Right arm goes down, left arm wing, roll, fold. You're still in the left leg, and then it's shift, turn, brush, hook. One more each way. Now, stay in your right leg. Bring the left foot a little behind, toes turned out. Shift all the way into that left leg now. Your left hand dips in the water, right elbow bend, fingers point up, touch your toes out in front. So the pose looks a little like this, right? Comfortable, right? What they say in Tai Chi, 1 full, 3 empty. Three empty. Now, bring your right foot back, touch heels together. Basically, you want to match the feet. You want to have like a little ballet turnout. Shift all the weight into your right leg, right hand down, bend left elbow, fingers point up, touch the toe out in front. Bring the left foot back, no body weight. Now simultaneously, shift the weight into the left, left hand going down, right elbow bend, right foot empty, touch. And then bring the right foot back, nothing changes. And then everything together, shift the weight, hands change, toe. Bring that left foot back, add. Left foot comes back, left palm turns forward, right palm turns in. Now shift the weight into the left leg, left hand sweeping down, right elbow bending, fingertips pointing up, toe touch. Again, bring right foot back with no weight, turn right palm forward, left palm in. Shift, the hands change, right hand goes down, left hand comes up, left foot touch. Bring the left foot back, simultaneous hand reorientation. Notice I didn't bring them down, I just rotated them. You see what I'm doing here? So 1 full, 3 empty, and then shift. Now this one's full. These are the empty 3. Bring that right foot back, empty, turn right palm in, right palm forward, left palm in, and then shift. And we add challenge. Staying in the position, take your toe off the ground and back down. So that's the first gesture to say, did I really empty this foot? See how I can lift it and put it down and nothing changes in my body? If I had weight in this leg, that's what it looks like when you still have weight and there's all this movement. That means you have to get better at sitting through this leg here. Now, can you lift and down without causing disturbance in your form? Maybe someday lift and down. And again, you recognize this movement from Monday's gait and balance class, right? We build all those foundational pieces. Now, bring your left foot back, change the weight, change the hands, toe out, and then do the 3 levels of challenge. First level is toe. Second level is little lift with a bend of the knee. Third level is higher or possibly full lift. And now we do that flowing. Bring your right foot back, turn your palm, right palm forward, left palm in. Now, change the weight. Right hand going down, left hand coming up. Lift that left foot to whatever challenge level is appropriate for you. Bring that foot down with 0 weight, turned out a little bit. Left palm forward, right palm in. Change the weight. The hands change. Go for your challenge level. Put the foot down. Right palm forward, left palm in, chain. You do it right, your little teacup on your head should not spill a drop. There's a looseness that when you relax enough and for long enough period of time, that softness actually condenses and settles and becomes very sturdy, very, very steady. That's the interesting sort of magic of Tai Chi. Softness over a long enough period of time becomes incredibly dense, sturdy, nourished, and full. Now, wash your paws. Loose. The bear plays with the clouds. Shift and turn, brush and sweep. The sweeping hand floats up, becomes a cloud. So James, switch your hands. Switch your hands for this one. So we got cloud, lake. Now shift, turn, cloud, lake. The sweeping hand becomes the cloud. The cloud hand becomes the lake or fills the lake, and we shift and turn. And then they change places. And then we shift and turn. So now add this challenge here of you get over to your right leg, change your hands, and then before we go back the other way, bring your left foot in and out with no body weight. And then shift to the left leg, turn, cloud up top, lake down low. And then as the hands change, can you bring that right empty foot in, out, and then we shift and turn. Cloud, lake. And then as the hands are changing simultaneously, if possible, left foot in, left foot out, and so now it should be your right hand up, your left hand down. So, yeah, there you go, Mark. And you want to be in your left leg. So go to your left leg, turn a little left. You got your right hand high. This is a cloud. Left hand's in the lake. We're ready to go that way. But before we go, bring your right foot in and out without any weight. And then shift underground. Shift, turn. Now it's cloud, lake. If you do it right, now the weight should all be in your right leg. As your hands change, the lake comes up, the cloud goes down, left leg comes in and out. And then we're going the other way. Shift underground, turn from your middle pivot, and cloud, lake. Simultaneous, as the hands change places, bring right foot in and out. Now we go back across. As the hands change places, left foot in, out, shift and turn. One more each way if you can get it all together. All three empty parts moving. And then wash your palms. Wash, wash, settle. Now, your left hand, bring it to this, right, bottom of a ball. So just focus on the left hand here. Shift to your right leg. Turn the waist to the right. So now we've stored up. One of the ways they describe this movement is throwing a frisbee, right? It's called flying diagonal. So the weight is here, the body is turned this way, and your left hand is here. So now start by that frisbee gesture forward, palm facing up, and then shift and turn, and it should take that hand up to here. So it started down here, but ends up here. Turn the left palm out, sweep it down like a crane wing. We know that move. Shift and turn, sweep the lake. You know that move. Bottom of a ball, you know that move. Now the only new move is this flying diagonal. So it's going forward to start, and then it's the shifting and turning that does this upward diagonal path. Turn the palm out, and then like a crane wing, sweep, shift and turn. That's the lake. And then this bottom of the ball, the flying diagonal. The hand begins going forward, because what usually happens when people get it wrong is they do the crane wing, they sweep. So really see how different that is. This direction, out and up. That looks good from everybody. And then turn the palm out, wing, lake, bottom of ball. Forward and out and around, shift and turn. Turn the palm out, sweep. Now bring your other hand, wash, and let's focus on the other hand here. So now we're stored, bottom of ball, turn to your left, throw the frisbee forward, shift and turn. Flying diagonal. Turn that palm out, wing, lake, bottom of ball. Stored up, flying diagonal. Forward and turn the palm out. Sweep. And forward diagonal. Sweep. One more. Palm turns out, wing, and return. And now wash your paws. Settle. Now to put that all together, left hand bottom of ball, right hand top of ball. Now imagine two train tracks. Just travel along these parallel train tracks that are parallel to the floor for the moment. Now we take those train tracks, put them on a diagonal so that your bottom left hand is going to do the flying diagonal move, right? That's going this way. This other hand, though, does this complementary down diagonal. Go for it. This is called stroking the wild horse's mane. Back. Now, let's do that with the shift and turn. So we go, start that stroking wild horse's mane, shift and turn. Now here, turn your left palm out and turn your right palm up, and we go embrace the moon. Your left hand does a crane wing, right hand comes up, shift and turn, sweep the lake, and this top hand rolls and folds over and makes the ball. So now we're stored and ready to go again for flying diagonal, downward diagonal, and shift and turn for the stroking wild horse's mane. Turn your left palm out, turn your right palm up, embrace the moon. Left hand down, right hand up, left hand under, right hand over. Stored in your right leg, turn to your right. Let's do it. Shift and turn and brush and sweep and flying diagonal in both directions. And then spiral, turn the left palm out, right palm up. Shift and turn, gather. Shift and turn, issue that unique movement. Turn left palm out, right palm up. Shift and turn, gather. Shift and turn, express. Gather the ball, and then bring your right hand out and down. Left hand turns, wash your paw, paw. Settle to the middle. Let's do that same progression to get there. Right hand on the bottom, left hand over top. Two train tracks parallel to the floor to get this feeling of stroking the wild horse's mane, this quality of going in two directions. Now put that on the diagonal so that it's Now from here, do the embrace the moon. Turn the right palm out, left palm up, right hand down, left hand over. Let's add the shift left, turn left, gather into the ball. Now we're going to shift right, turn right, stroking wild horse's mane, full expression. Turn right palm out, left palm up, shift left, turn left, gather into a ball. And then shift right, turn right, stroking wild horse's mane. And then turn those palms and shift and turn, gather, shift and turn, stroke. So you see, this is very yang, right? I'm expressed. And then this has a yinning quality, a gathering quality, a storing quality, a coming together quality. And Mark, make sure you've shifted left to your left leg and rotated a bit left. You see, I'm sort of exaggerating here. Yeah. So you got to be wound up to the left in order to unwind the other way, right? If I'm just in the middle, I'm not wound up, so I can't unwind. So yin and yang, right? You're wound to the left so that when you stroke wild horse's mane, you unwind, shift, and turn. Make sure those hands move. Hands got to move. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Turn right palm out, left palm up, shift and turn. Gather. Shift and turn. Express. Shift and turn. Gather. Shift and turn. Express. And then finally, staying in this express position, bring your left hand under, make the bottom of the ball, right hand folds over, and then we do it the other way. So we're going shift and turn. Stay in your left leg, sweep right hand under, left hand over, and turn a little bit more to your left. So you kind of wind up a little extra and then go for it. Shift, turn, express. As you sweep left hand under, right hand over, turn a little bit more, gather, and then sweep right hand under, left hand over, gather, and left hand under, right hand over, gather, and then finally make the ball, left hand down, right hand turn, wash your paw, wash your paw, settle to neutral. And we close with what's called sync chi wash organs. It's like basically by repeating movements like we did, it's really wonderful, but you could imagine your chi getting stuck in a circular sort of loop inside the body. So we always finish with the one that flushes all the channels. So I'll turn a little sideways so you can see. We rock a teeny bit back into the heels, open and lift. Right? Open and lift. Then rock a little bit to the toes and just let your liquid flood forward, 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 all the way to the tippy fingers. Turn the palms up. Rock to your heels a little bit again and bring in the upper as if in the mouth, past your mouth, and then settle to the middle of your feet as your hands settle to the belly. A sort of pooling occurring there. And then remember our Tai Chi squat. The hips go a little bit back. The elbows come a little bit forward. Begin sitting the buttocks. And then also release your arms completely. So together the legs sink, but the arms release. And then you come up, back to neutral. Twice more. Rock a little bit back, open, lift, sweeping out. Rock forward, sweeping around. Turn the palms slightly up. Rock back, a sort of washing in, and settle to the middle of your feet, hands to the belly. Hips back, elbows forward a little. Sit the buttocks, release the arms. Release everything. come to standing. So we just like flush the plumbing, the chi plumbing. Let's do it one final time. 3, the magic number, right? Back, open, and lift. Forward, wrap around. Bringing in and settling. And then hollow the front, broaden the back through. And then a closing of the practice. Remember, we shift to the right leg, bring the left foot in close, stand up, wing, roll, fold, settle to the belly. Seal the practice. Take one hand right on top of the belly, other hand on top. And then hand position represents that yin yang symbol. Thank you, everybody. Great job. All right. Any questions or anything? Feel free. Make sure you know where your chair is when you go to sit down. And feel free to unmute if you have question or thought. Remember, we have class tomorrow, Saturday,